You're muted, Johnny.
What's going on?
You're muted.
I'm not muted anymore. Okay, I was on the intro, but we can just jump right into it. I don't know how I got muted.
All right. So what's going on, y'all?
I think Janita froze up. Janita, can you hear?
I can hear. I'm froze on y'all end?
No, you good now.
Yeah, you got
What's going on?
that a doggone thing.
All right. Welcome to another Deal or No Deal. We're going to get this one going. Let me see what we got going on. So we got a couple properties here. Marilyn Williams said hello.
What's up, Merle?
Hello.
All right. So we got an Oak Park property. Looks like we got our guest Kels in here. We're gonna go ahead and add him to the stream. Make sure he's on here. All right. So we got Oak Park property, and Janita, you said you sent me a few properties here as well.
Yeah. Let's do the Oak Park one and the one on Prairie and the one on Boston.
Okay. I don't see those. I don't see those other two in here, but I'll go back in a second.
Yeah, we can just pull them up on MLS.
Kale.
Okay.
Are you there?
I'm turning his camera on.
I mean, we can't even hear him though.
All right. So
he was trying to join from his I think his iPad wasn't that. I mean, he didn't have his laptop, so he was trying to join from his iPad. So if y'all got tips.
Oh, okay. So let's just I'm gonna give him a second to get set up. So in the meantime, we got so everything in the market. We talking about the market, price reductions. We covered a lot that's going on. So I just want to hear from y'all, like, what do y'all think is the most important thing, especially for people that's buying and flipping right now? What do you think they should be looking for or looking to do?
That's a good question. I feel like Kale said oh no, we still can't hear you, Kale. I think that they got to tighten up. You can't go around here being loosey goosey,
right?
Buying properties. You know what I mean? This not 2020 and 2021 or even early 2022. Margins are thin. You got to do good work. What up, Kale?
I should have stayed in my room. Shoot.
He figured it out.
Uh-oh,
but we just seen the top of his forehead, so I don't know what's going on. We'll get him straight.
Look,
so go ahead, Shaka, what was you saying?
I just think that you got to do good rehabs. I don't think that it's those a lot of investors that had the bad or the cheap rehabs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think those are you can't really do those anymore. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing those and being able to expect certain numbers.
Right.
Can you ask the question again? I was busy texting Kelly. Sorry.
So basically, we're trying to figure out what investors should be doing different, and maybe our audience can chime in. So, like, now we're seeing properties are sitting on the market longer, right? So, like Shaka was saying, this time last year or even earlier this year, a newbie investor with not a lot of experience can flip something. They can fix it up. They probably can do an average or fair job on a rehab, put it on the market, it'll sell in a week. And if they're getting a hard money loan, they won't be in any trouble because the property was likely to sell. But now in the market that we're in, you're not getting away with just a fair rehab. You're going to have to do average or above. Plus, you got to factor in the marketing time. The day when you can sell your house in a week, it's not likely. It's still happening on some homes, but not all. So people really have to consider that now when you're fixing and flipping. And I know some investors, they can't handle the holding costs of being on the market 2, maybe 3 months on some of these properties.
True. I'm Kale, are you there?
Yes.
I'm interested in, so are you being any more stringent on investors that are on their flips? Like, are you know, I know in 2020, 2021, you could have been a little bit less concerned about the ARV if they were being aggressive, but are you tightening up any?
I am. Yep. So a little bit more, and I think with what Reggie said, like I have a couple guys. One of them, he just got done with his rehab about 2 weeks ago, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, how are things going?" And I know his rehab was horrible. Like, not horrible as in like just it wasn't done right. Like it wasn't really clean rehab, and he said, we're not getting any offers, and so made me think of just what Reggie said. You gotta pick up. You gotta rehab it much better than what we were doing in 2020 or 2021. So, yeah, I am tightening up a little bit on the lending. I'm not going aggressive, but things are selling. It just not as fast.
Right.
So yeah, I am a little bit less aggressive than we were
Yeah.
last year.
So let's introduce Kel to our audience and know exactly who he is because and why his opinion on what's going on in the market is important. Janita?
Oh,
All right. So Kelly is we like to refer to him as one of our business partners, but he funds a lot of deals, stays on the back end a whole lot. Kelly, you don't hold too many properties, do you?
no, I don't. I'm actually get rid of I had few rentals and so I'm liquidating right now. I just don't want to. I'm not a landlord, so I had some stuff and some good tenants, and then they moved out, and so I just sold a commercial property. So but I'm in the getting rid of properties mood.
But he keeps a lot of money in the market, and so his
Yes.
opinion is valuable because of that reason.
Yes. So
Kel, I got a question for you, Kel. So I know on the conventional side and the traditional funding, the interest rates have gone up. But for a private lender like yourself, are you increasing your rates as well, or you're kind of staying exactly where you at?
No, I'm staying there, and I'm just kind of holding that. Sometimes I do negotiate the rates, but right now I'm just holding it firm on my current rates.
I feel like that's important.
He can't go.
Yeah, that's important because
Kel's
yeah, no. I mean, not with us. So when he talking, so look, everything that Kel is saying right now is for other investors. This is not for us. Yeah, a lot of people dating now. But no, I think that's important though, Kel, because let me tell you, I think that it's important for the lenders. They got to be smart because they need basically investors need lenders and lenders need investors, right?
Yeah,
That's how everybody make money. So it's no point of him price gouging. You know what I mean? He need the investor to be successful so they can come back and borrow some more money.
absolutely. Yep. And like just going back to that individual that we talked about, so I'm kind of thinking, okay, so he's not getting any offers. He has to fix some things because I looked at it and, the mudding job was horrible. The just the walls look bad, and I'm like, and so now I think he's gonna have to go back and fix all that and hold it longer. So I work with my guys. If that's what's gonna happen, then I will reduce it because he's he's a good guy. He's kind of a regular, so I will work with him. We're probably gonna have to extend it a few more months.
Yeah, don't go back and remud it. Tell him to spend $1,500 and stage it. Furniture had a lot of
Yeah. And you know what I noticed too, like you said something that was very important. So when you're dealing with like some of the hard money lenders that are probably like out of state or something like that, they really don't. I mean, they care about your rehab from the stance of they're only going to disperse a certain amount of funds based on completion. But you said something that was important. You're willing to work with the guy. You actually seen the work. You can kind of give your input on, hey, maybe this is not the best quality work. You might want to go redo this. and we'll give you a little bit of an extension period to get the property sold. So I think that's a big difference between you and some of the hard money lenders that a lot of us deal with.
You got an echo somewhere. Red, you hear it?
Yeah, it's a little echo. Probably somebody got YouTube on or something in the back.
Mute Kelly and see what happens if you still hear it.
Can you still hear it?
Nope, it's gone.
Okay. Yep. So he's probably got something playing in the back.
I don't have anything playing on my end.
Okay. It probably just some feedback. So let's go into a couple of these properties here. And what we'll do is we'll pull these up. I'm going to share my screen. So the first one we got is, let me see what I got here.
Hey, is Emma plays Emma?
That I don't know. Yep. I think if it was Emma from, you talking about, is it Emma from Detroit Title?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Either, but what's up? What's going on, Emma plays?
So she said, Emma says, I notice a lot of folks are liquidating now. Yeah, we're starting to see that a little bit more as well. Because, you know, people are saying, hey, I'm coming to, you know, I'm in the market. I want to get out while it's high and then, you know, sell the property and get my cash so I can be cash heavy and go back and invest at some lower prices and things of that nature. So let me get my share screen set up here.
And you got to be real careful with that too. All those investors. That you know what their strategy is. Like Kelly's, like you said, he's not a buy and hold. So for him, it makes all the sense in the world.
Right.
But
all right. So can you see my screen good here?
Yeah, we see it.
All right. So the first property we got, this was a wholesale deal that got sent out. I'm pretty sure quite a few investors got this if you're on one of the investor lists. This one, the location is pretty good. It's on Lincoln and Oak Park. The wholesalers basically stating the ARV is 250 to 255. So what we do on this show for people that have not seen this show, Deal or No Deal, we evaluate these deals and we give our opinion. So a deal for me may not be a good deal for Shaka, vice versa. And we just pretty much vote if it's a good deal or no deal based on it being a flip or a buy and hold situation. And we let our viewers and audience come in and chime in as well. So this one is on Lincoln Park, 3-bed, 1-bath, just over 1,100 square feet. Now they're saying the ARV is 250 to 255. The reason we run real live comps on the show is so that you can see exactly how we come up with the ARV and how we determine if the deal is good or not. Because the ARV they tell us, it's not always the ARV of what it really is based on current market data. Right now, they're asking $134,900 for the property. And then we always like to plug whoever the wholesaler is. So if you're interested, you can see their information and contact them direct. So we also have some photos of this property that you can see. Just let me load these up here. What's your first thoughts on this one, Janita?
My first thoughts is I think it's a good location. It's close to Huntington Woods, which is higher. So, you know, we need to be careful not to be pulling in those values.
Right.
But, you know, just right out the gate with the address, I'd be interested.
Okay.
What was the acquisition price?
$134,900.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So just by looking, so there's certain signs a property will always give you. When you look at it based on the furniture and things of that nature, you can kind of tell like who was probably staying there. There's a lot that the interior of the property, little details of property can tell you. So this is just the interior basic. You can tell it's just probably going to need updating throughout. It's probably been vacant for a period of time. You can see the peeling paint here.
We lost Kelly.
No, he's here. I had put him on mute because I was still getting that feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me go back to that bathroom. So this is, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it's probably been vacant for some time. The kitchen. So this is probably going to be what you think, Shaka, gut job and remodel for the entire kitchen.
I would.
Okay.
To get the most on the flip.
Yeah, and this bathroom definitely got to go.
But you can get rid of that vanity. So it depends on the comp. That's why I want to see the comps, because it depends. You can take, depending on the comps, you can get rid of that vanity in that toilet, and you can spray all that tile in there, put new luxury vinyl plank flooring, new toilet, new sink, new mirror, and be done. Depending on what the other comps are showing.
Right. So explain what you mean to our audience about depending on what the other comps are showing when you're talking about rehabbing a property.
So if the comps look like that, like this house, but just cleaner, you know what I mean? Then I don't have to do too much. I don't have to gut it out and put everything back brand new. But if the comps look very updated, then that's what I have to do. I have to go in there and gut everything and put a brand new bathroom or a brand new kitchen in there.
Right. And that's what we tell a lot of investors. So you want to bring the property up to the market standards for that area. So if this ARV is, 225 to 250 or whatever for the area, and the comps support that, we're trying to match or maybe slightly better than the comparable properties or the active properties that's currently on the market. A lot of investors, they spend too much money and they over improve a property, and an area is only going to demand so much regardless of what you put into it. So I get investors all the time like, I have to sell it at 250 because I put so much into it because of what I put into it. The market don't always care what you put into it. It cares what the property is worth. So this is pretty standard. So let's go ahead and run some comps here.
And you know what? I want to say something too. That's a huge change. So me and Janita would normally go in the house and we are going to gut it out. And but now with this market the way that it is, we can't be, because you could be aggressive then, knowing that you can go set the record. You can push the comps in that area by updating your house that much. Now in this market, I'm not so comfortable with that.
Okay. So you're saying before you would try to push the envelope. So if the comps were like 250, you would improve the property to a point where you can probably get 260 for it.
Yeah.
All right. But now you don't feel that way. You feel like you want to stay safe. You want to play it safe.
Yeah, because even like you just said, it don't matter. We don't even. It's so difficult now for comps. You don't know what their appraiser is going to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes they're giving you the value, sometimes they're not.
What's your thoughts, Janita?
Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to pull back more in terms of the rehab portion. So yeah, just not spending as much because we don't have to. It's not necessary. We have to top in the market. And the like Shaka said, so I think in certain areas like this area, we're gonna do pretty well with the comps. Like there won't be any problems finding comps, but we're not trying to push the envelope.
Okay. So here's and we'll bring Kels back on in a minute here too, because we have some questions for him. So this Balfour property is the highest comp and it's the most recent sold comp as of September 21st for 265. The subject property has a similar square footage. The subject is 1141, and this comp was 1199. So when we look at the photos in relation to what Shaka was mentioning, we need to make the subject property similar or better than this property so we can see how the kitchen compares already, right?
That's not. I don't know. Look, I think I still feel like this is a older kitchen, but just very well maintained.
Yeah. It's not like this is probably not updated within the past like 5 years or something. Would you say?
Yeah, but the difference is it doesn't have Home Depot cabinets. It's got nice custom cabinets. It's got granite. I wonder if that floor is.
Hardwood in the kitchen. It said it was updated in. Oh, that's a laminate. It said it was updated in 2016, and if you look at the kitchen, it's a laminate on there for floor type.
Okay.
So they got that luxury vinyl.
So yeah, like the bathroom, it's nothing really special. It's like they didn't spend a lot of money. I mean, the fixtures look good, but like you said,
sink in there.
But I think this is good. Like, even for me, and so I can say how he feels, but like being able to do a bathroom, let's say if we got to go in there and rip out all that old 1950s tile or 60s tile, we don't have to go back in there and retile the entire bathroom because the area, people just drywalling and painting and the tubs around. So you're saving a little bit of money there.
Okay. So let me ask y'all too about the above ground, because it has the above ground pool. Does that really matter?
Some people don't want it.
Exactly. So when we meet, a lot of times we meet with sellers, whether it's an investor or a seller, they say, oh, I got an above ground pool, or I got a pool. And it's not always a good thing. A lot of buyers don't want the responsibility of a pool.
In Michigan, they're like, man, you can't barely use that pool.
Yeah, because you got to winterize it and all of that. So yeah, it makes it's not always a value add too. But
and that's not even the real. That's one of them. That's not a real pool. I mean, it's real, but like you take that up and take that down.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, but look, they got a real nice backyard. I mean, they got a party, an entertainment backyard.
Yeah. So this house to me, like it's the other part of the value, right? So not just the appraisal, but it's playing to that person's emotion that's coming in there. So it's a very well kept house, and people like that.
Right. So this property, so that was Balfour, but then there's a gap here between 265 and 240. And then when we look at the 240 property, let's see what.
Basic.
Yeah, it's basic.
And it's a small kitchen, so it's easy to go in there and do that. They got one cabinet a wall.
Right. And this is what Shaka was talking about with the restroom. So it's like they didn't really do much to like the walls and everything. They changed the fixtures and maybe the toilet, but
they got old windows.
Old window. Look at that mirror and that light. They got paneling upstairs.
Hey, I don't know. I'm liking this deal.
You like this deal?
So far, I'm liking the deal. I wouldn't go in there and gut out probably nothing. I mean, other than the cabinets.
All right. So let's ask. I'm gonna ask Kels. What do you think about this deal, Kels? Just based on what we've seen so far. I think he's still there. We'll come back to him. So I'm looking at the comps.
Right.
It's like a huge drop off. So it's 265, 240, and then 226. Yeah, and they suggested what 250 to 255. What's your thoughts on this ARV that they proposed?
Not far.
I like it. I mean, I feel like they're safe. I feel like, to be honest, that 265 is doable. I mean, with not a whole lot of rehab.
Okay. All right. So let's look at, so here's the thing. We always look at not just the sold properties, because if we look at these dates, some of your most recent sold, so we're going back to August, July. May was a different market, right? We got May, July, and the most recent one was the highest one in September.
That's why I like it. Yeah.
And that's why you like it, because it's current. It's not from a few markets and a few interest rates ago. It's in more of a current market, and we still have support on that price. But now let's look at what's active and how long those properties have been on the market. And it's only one property active within a quarter of a mile, and that's at 217. It's been on the market since July.
Hey,
So-
Johnny, you might need to go get that house under contract. 'Cause look at this. They talking about investor special at 215.
So I don't know why this house haven't sold unless something's wrong with it, but it looks pretty standard.
Well, I think that go ahead. You marketing it wrong. First of all, at 215, that's not an investor. That's a homeowner special. This is a homeowner special at 215, maybe.
Yeah, homeowners should buy this all day because they
what's
got
the school district?
yeah, they got $40,000-$50,000 in equity.
Yeah.
So this is
What's the school district over there? On that
oh,
one?
you know what? I see what it is. It says investor special is tenant occupied through August 2024.
Okay.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
So
And Kel not gonna like this rent either. They talking about an investor special, but he gonna hate that rent on that. I'm paying $217,000.
yeah, and the tenant only paying $1,500 a month. So whoever the owner of this property is probably didn't understand that now it's not a good deal for an investor that's buying it and holding, especially with the rate increase.
Mm-hmm.
So it's costing you more per month to buy this property. You're probably not going to cash flow positive on this property. Let's just go out a half mile and see what we come up with. Oak Park. Yes. It's still nothing in the half. You said what?
Put the city in when you go out there because it's gonna pick up too much.
Yeah, I already got it in here. It's still only one property.
They're gonna pick up too much because a lot don't sell over there in them areas. But at 217, you paying $13.58 on principal and interest.
Yeah, and you're only getting $1,500 a month.
So you're gonna be negative.
Yeah, you're gonna be in the negative on that property. Mm-hmm. But so there's several properties. There's like 6 properties pending over here. This is not really a good comp because of the size, but Borgman, you got Borgman at 221. These pendings don't look too good, but they're some of these are just different properties though, overall. But yeah, it's not a lot active over there. So it's like little to no inventory. So I think it's a good deal. What you think?
Yeah, I think that it's a solid deal.
Yeah.
All right. Let's ask Emmett. He back on here. So Emmett, based on these comps, I don't know if he's seen it earlier, but based on this Lincoln property, 134.9, ARV 250, 255. Based on the comps, I think this is fair. What do you think the rehab would cost for this, Shaka?
It can range. I think you can get in there for as little as like 35,000 cosmetic.
Okay. So 35 to 40,000 with contingencies and everything.
Yeah.
So you all in maybe 175, 180.
Yeah, which puts you at where you want to see. I'm doing that. I'm going with a 260 ARV.
All right.
So, yeah, it's doable. This is real doable.
Okay. So deal or no deal, we voting up that it's a good deal for the property at 13741 Lincoln Street, in Oak Park. ARV, they're saying 250 to 255. We all agree on that. Shaka's saying roughly 30 to 40,000, depending on how you want to finish it, and acquisition price 134.9. So there's the first deal. Somebody go buy this house if we don't buy it.
Did we lose Kelly? Is he Kel, can you hear us?
I think let me add him back. Okay. Looks like he has stepped out. Kelly, when he come in here, we got him. So all right. So let's see what some of the comments we got. Some people know each other. Shayla Johnson.
He said, can you hear me?
No, I can't hear him, man. Let me add him back to the screen. All right.
Can you
so we got
yeah, there you go. I want his opinion on this deal.
Me too. I want to hear if he's gonna lend on it.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
So-
maybe more towards the 120, 125 purchase price. And I don't know about the windows and roof. Did we say we need to change the windows and roof?
No, the windows on the other one was old at the 260. Well, no, at the 240. I can't remember what they were at the 260.
Okay.
Yeah, on this property, from what we could see, it doesn't need a roof. You're gonna have to replace the garage door. And Kelly brought up a good point, but just from the photos we seen, Shaka's price range of what you say, Shaka, 30 to 35?
40. Yeah. No
Yeah.
more than 40,000.
Yeah,
So-
that's realistic without the roof and the windows. Yeah, I would say it's a deal.
Okay.
I'll echo
65%, Emmett.
Yeah.
And for everybody that joined us a little late, Kels is one of the lenders that we deal with for fix and flips. So that's why we brought him on tonight. So we won't just be giving our opinion from a realtor investor standpoint, but also from a private lender as well. And he's keeping his rates the same. He hasn't changed his rates like your local bank.
Hold on, Kel. So you gonna lend on this one?
I'll lend on that one. That's a good one. Yes.
So we can close in how long?
We can close within, as soon as we get the title work, we need about 3-4 days after title work.
All right, we good.
You're gonna get this under contract.
All right. Sneaker Man said Oak Park market has gone up significantly. And then let me see here. Who else we got? When it comes to, I think we got a question. When it comes to buying homes, what purchase price rental rate ratios makes it a good deal for y'all? Shaka, you go by the 1% rule for your rental rates, correct?
Yep. Well, 2 in Detroit, 1% in the suburbs, and I stole that from
Explain your 1% rule so she'll understand.
So 1% of the purchase price needs to be your rental income.
Right. Gross or net?
I would like it to be net, but it's normally gross.
Okay. So $100,000 property needs to at least rent for $1,000.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Kel.
Then,
Yeah, baby.
All right. So I stole that from you. So explain to that. Explain your and then so then he even went and said 2% on the Detroit. So in the harder markets, he wants you to be 2%. Can you explain it?
So typically, if you purchase a property for $100,000, you want to be able to cash flow 2%. So that means if rent has to be around $2,000 a month or $20,000 a year, pretty much.
okay.
So $18,000 to $2,000 a month is where you need to be at for Detroit. And then, like Shaka said, suburbs 1.5 is typically what I like to see.
Okay. And that's why a lot of people are so attracted to Detroit, because they see these properties at 50,000 and they're making, $850 to $950 a month, sometimes more. So they're using that rule, or they just feel like it's a good return on investment for that amount. What about the flips? What's your rule of thumb? I know Shaka mentioned before. What was you saying? 70% all in?
So 70% is when we're going aggressive. So like this one in Oak Park with that comp, I would be willing to go 70%.
Okay.
But typically 65. So yeah, Emmett was asking, can I use the 70% rule on this one 100%? Because we said the ARV, I'm doing it at 260. And 70% of that is 182 all in. If we get it for what Kel said at 125, maybe let's say 127.5. That give us $54,000 to rehab and holding costs.
Okay. We got a question here. So Emmett asked, could you do the 70% rule on this one? So you kind of just explained that. And then Realtor BB said, I think this is Brittany, if I'm not mistaken. So what makes Kel say he'll lend on this one? Is it the condition or the numbers?
Oh, it's the numbers.
Numbers, yeah. Yep, the
Okay.
rehab cost and the purchase price, and then what are you gonna net, BB? So I would land on this one. I would land between 100, maybe 110 max, and plus I'll lend 100% of the rehab.
All right. So the investor will have to come with roughly about 10% down.
10 to 20%, yeah.
Okay. All right, great. And what would your terms be? Would it be 6 months or 12 months?
6 months. This should be a 6 months deal, you know.
Okay. All right, good.
Couple months, 2 months to rehab, couple months to close, maybe an extra month, on the market or whatever. But end of the day, 6 months should be realistic.
Okay, great. So I like that 2 months to rehab.
Akil, I got a question. So are you taking into consideration the amount of days on market now when you're coming up with your terms? So you sticking with the 6, you're not going to 8. I'm not talking about for us. I'm just talking about for a regular.
Yeah,
Wow.
I am. I mean, we haven't had really any issues so far. Homes are selling, they're still moving, but they're not. No one is breaking any records, and there isn't any multiple offers, but they're moving. They're still moving. People are still buying. So you price it right, it'll sell, and you do a good rehab, it'll move. So
Yeah. And for private lending, that's always been the standard. That's 6 months in like all of the markets.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think this Oak Park one done right, it should move. What's been on the other ones, Reggie? I mean, haven't they been on the market less than 60, 90 days? The comps?
Yeah. One of them is brand new, like this. I mean, in September. One of them is less than 30 days. One comp.
Oh, nice.
The highest one. I think it was at 265.
Just like, what is that, Hazel Park right there? It's a nice city and central, and people like it. So, but yeah, prices have gone up tremendously in Oak Park. I can't believe it. I think that house used to be $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. So,
Reggie, you on mute. You muted.
All right, so I'm back. All right, so let me pull up here. So Johnny, you said what?
You mute Kelly's mic.
Oh yeah, because of the feedback.
Yeah.
All right, so Janita, you had a couple more properties you want us to research, right?
Yeah, do the one on Prairie.
Is single family or multifamily?
I believe that's multifamily.
All right, what's the address?
It is 17163 Prairie in Detroit, multifamily.
Marlon, you asked the question. Did we answer your question?
His question wasn't answered.
I think we did. I think.
You said 17163.
17163.
Hold on, I'm not seeing that. 17163. Somebody, Sneaker Man, said he was looking at this one earlier today.
The one that we're looking at now?
Yeah.
What's that?
Sneaker Man, you gonna buy it?
In your multifamily, if you can't find it, just.
What's the address?
17163. But you gotta search it in the multifamily category.
17163 Winter Street.
Prairie.
Yep, I got it here. Oh, Sneaker Man said he gonna buy it. We don't have a chance. And Brittany want to know, Shaka, would you buy that one in Oak Park personally?
We are buying it. We just bought. We just got our financing together online.
No, I think Sneaker Man gonna buy it. It's gonna be the highest and best.
Sneaker Man coming with us. He is he's down with us.
Sneaker Man was Prairie.
All right. So let's pull this one up. Let's see what we got. Let me get get this other
Why
part.
you like that one so much, Mr. Sneaker Man?
I mean, the numbers make sense. That's the ideal deal that you want to buy. Okay, so we got this one. So this is a 2-family. Were you leaving it as a 2-family or doing a conversion?
So that's why I wanted to bring it, because this is one of the ones when you look at it from a multifamily standpoint, it's still, I think it does pretty decent, but when you do a conversion on it, it, you know, it will be a good one for a conversion, in my opinion.
All right. What's your so do you want me to comp it as a single family or as a two?
Do it comp as a multifamily and then comp it as a single family.
All right, so we doing both.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we got to comp it. So as a single family, well, I hear you. I mean, because you can do the single family, you don't necessarily have to. I mean, the multifamily, you don't necessarily have to comp it because you can just go off the rental rate, and then you could just, you know what I mean? Because you're not going to sell it as a multi. So you're either going to buy it as a multi rental or sell it as a single family residence, right?
You can do both. You can do all three. I mean, you can do you can do any of the three.
Well,
all right, so are we evaluating this as a buy and hold or as a buy and flip?
That's the question.
I thought all of them, like, okay, we do buy and flip. So we're doing them as a buy and flip, and then we ask the question, can we hold it? Does the number still make sense to hold? I mean, the numbers make sense all day for this right here to hold.
Remember we discussed, we had a discussion about which values are better, whether it's better to sell as a single family or better to sell as a multi-family. And I thought that we came to the conclusion that the single family values are better.
On the flip side, I think we both. So our audience to know what we're talking about. We had a discussion on one episode on 2-unit conversions, right? So some people are converting 2 units to single family units, and they're not successful at flipping that property at the price it should be when you're talking about dollar per square foot, right? Because the area only gonna hold so much value. So if the homes in the area are typically 3 to 4 bedrooms, and you come to market with a 6-bedroom, that's not gonna guarantee you, $20,000 or $30,000 higher price. Not all the time. Sometimes it works, but that's not always the case. So there's a debate out there whether you should convert these into single families and will it make sense. So today we'll evaluate this property both as a single family and as a multifamily and see where it would make the best sense for an investment.
I want to hear it. I'm sorry, go ahead. What'd you say?
I said, yeah, that's what I want to do.
All right. I want to hear Kelly's opinion on that, between what he's been seeing in terms of the multifamily flips.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I would agree with is it Janita that's trying to switch this to if you're selling it, if it's a rehab and you're trying to sell it and get the most out of it, I would convert it to a single, and you'll get a little bit more than a duplex, multifamily, whatever. So yeah, I would do that if you're flipping. Now for buy and hold and rental, no, I would keep it as a multi.
So that's what I'm saying. We don't have to do the value. So if we agree with what Kelly just said, which I thought we did all agree on that, then we don't have to do the evaluation on the buy and hold on the flip as a multifamily, because we know it's not going to be more than a single family. You get what
I thought that it was from property to property. When we evaluate them, they're all going to come up with different numbers. So this could be very well a good flip, leaving it as it is, which would be a 2-unit. It could be a good flip doing a conversion. It could be bad doing one or doing the other, but we don't know until we evaluate it.
Well, you do know.
All right. And while we're pulling up the comps, let's ask our audience to comment on what they think is the highest and best use of the property, because ultimately that's what we want, the highest and best use for the property in that area. So just based on the comps alone, I forgot to pull the square footage of that property. So you remember the square footage?
2400, 2418.
All right. And it's a few properties on here that are comps that have already been converted. So like this Monica property, there go y'all Twilight photos again that y'all like so much. So this property sold for $288 back in June. What was the purchase price on Perry?
I don't remember.
They have it listed for, and I just went off of this while I was on screen. Shoot. They have it listed for $84,900.
All right. Did you have an estimated rehab cost for that one?
No.
All right. So we would have to make it look like this, right?
And what was that number? 280?
This one sold for 288, 288.5, but then you got one for 315. And this one sold, that one sold back in May, and this one sold in June. These are the most recent within a quarter of a mile. So basically we have to bring it up to, this will be your standard, right? And for people that are flipping, don't overlook staging your properties, because this makes a huge difference, especially when you got a property like this. It probably costs, what is it costing now, Johnny, to stage? About $2,000?
Yeah, it goes by square footage. This is a larger square foot property, so I would imagine they paid a minimum of like $3,500.
Yeah. And you can stage the property yourself. I know people that just keep furniture, IKEA furniture and stuff like that in storage if they're doing a lot of flips.
So I'm on the fence with this one. This one is not a bad deal. This is one that I feel like an experienced investor has to. I wouldn't want to do this one though. I would. It ain't huge. It ain't horrible, but it's not one that I would want to do.
All right. So why is that?
Because so like Realtor BB is asking what the repair on that is, and to get it there, I think we're gonna be over $100,000.
Okay.
And so at that point, now you're not even talking about, now that's a longer rehab. That means that your holding cost is more. So all your expenses is going up. And if we keep that 288, we need to be at I don't want to go at 70% in that area. I want to be at 65 because I see the comps were sold. The comps I'm looking at were sold in May and June. So I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm going to be modest. So I'm going my 65%. That need me 187 to be all in, buy and hold. I mean, right. Buy repairs and my holding costs.
Okay. Yeah, and Brittany said it seems like it would cost too much to turn into a single family. And Shaka, you're saying it would be at least 100,000.
Yeah.
To do everything, right?
To get into those. Those are nice flips.
Right. Yeah, and then there's a gap here. I hate when I see too much of a gap. So you got like 315, then the gap's down to 288, then 269. Even though you can average it out, but when you start seeing gaps like 265 to 229 to 222, we have to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on. Of course, we got to look at square footage and everything, but most of your higher comps though were two-family conversions, and those were these three here. Actually these four. So this was 265. So you're saying you'll be 185 all in?
Right. 187.
187 on the undercover.
And that's that's only saying 100,000. You know what I mean? Like that's not being very aggressive.
Let's see what's active and pending too. So we only got 10 total on a higher end with larger square footage. Here's a two-family. So this one is pending. This one just right down the street. This just went pending in September.
That's the one we just looked at. That's the main. Oh, that's a different.
No, this is a different one. Yep. Ours is the subject is 17163. This is literally probably about 2 or 3 houses down, 17150. It's under contract. It went on the market in September. Now the thing is, what is it going to close at? But so you're basically saying definitely you're going to be 100,000, if not more, because that property needs a roof. What's everybody else's opinion? Janita?
I see a pretty good net profit there. If you go in there, you put 100,000 into it. This property has, how long has this one been on the market? This property has been on, just came on the market for 2 days. I would let it, for personally, so for me and what I do, I watch them a little bit longer, and if it's there in a few weeks, that's when I start bidding on it. I wouldn't pay 84,000 for it. I probably would pay somewhere between 69 and 75 for it. 75 would be my max.
All right. So yeah, I think it's a good deal, but just not for me, right? Because I'm looking at 187 all in. We're looking at maybe the comps right now, maybe where we got 288 on that highest one. It might be around like 265, 270, but the time it's going to take in this time of year, I probably would consider doing it with partners. Hint, hint. So probably with a couple partners or something. But it's gonna, the holding cost is gonna eat probably.
It's gonna kill you.
Yeah, because basically this is gonna be a project you're gonna have to do over the winter. You're probably not gonna get this done, and it looks like it's probably gonna need quite a bit of exterior work too.
I want to explain to people, because I know a lot of people are like, well, why the hell when they do the numbers, they think that it's money in here, right? And so I want to explain to them why. So if you a flipper, if you somebody and this all you do for a living is flips, and you can do 2 of those a year, and you can make your 100,000 or whatever you're trying to make a year, then it's a good flip for you. But for me to go in here, first, I'm not going to be able to make it a high priority because it's not that much money in here, right? What we say it was 280. It's 100,000, right? It's 100,000. So let's say even if you, it's 100,000. It's between $80,000 and $100,000 in profit there. It's not a bad deal. It's just that I know I'm not going to be able to prioritize. That's a big rehab. So for me, that I have to take that 80,000 divided into 6, and now I have to, that's how I would judge it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you basing it on what you're actually making per month when you divide that 80,000 up. Plus, we haven't factored in a holding costs, which during the winter months here you got higher electric bills, gas bills, and everything, which is not a whole lot, but it does factor into everything. So you're gonna have a few thousand in utilities over the winter that you're gonna pay.
I want to hear what Kel got to say about this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Janita on this one. I think it's a good deal at the 60 something mark price, but like Shaka said, this is not a easy flip. This is an experienced flip, because even designing a 2-family house is going to take some time, and you can't make it choppy, and it's got to flow. It's got to feel like, oh, okay, it was normal. It was never a duplex. So and I'm thinking it's going to be more than 100, Chuck. I think it's going to be a little bit over 100 because new windows, new roof, everything got to be brand new in there now compared to the comps. So, but at the 60, I think it's a good buy.
So let me ask you this, Kills. If you have a brand new rookie investor, would you loan on this one?
No, I wouldn't recommend this one for him. No, this is going to be someone who's done at least 4 or 5 flips. I think they could take it on.
This one of those flips where Kelly would come in, Janita would be like, "This is the one we buying." I'd be like, "Yeah, all right." I went with Janita, and then Kelly would come in there and he'll look at me and be like, "Shaka, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this one?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got it, Kel. This one of those flips." So, and I don't want to do that. That's a hard flip. You know what I mean? It's not hard. It's one that you got to actually focus on. It's got to be your primary focus.
Okay.
You're right, Shaka.
Yeah, that's funny. So with this property, so we got.
I better be glad I don't want it because I'll go put it on the contract tomorrow. Kelly be playing for it and he be doing the rehab.
Go ahead and get it. I'll take it under contract. If you get it the right number, we'll do it.
Yeah, so a couple things too that Kelly and Janita mentioned too, like me and Shaka is saying no because of other reasons. Like the profit is there, but there's other reasons why we're saying no. Kel said he'll lend on it. The numbers make sense, but like Janita said, you might want to negotiate a better purchase price because now that makes the deal even more attractive and it minimizes your risk because you're probably going to have some extra repairs you hadn't thought about in a property of this size. So it's kind of a tie on this one for a fix and flip. What about a buy and hold? You won 185 all in.
I'm gonna say no.
You said 185 all in for my hold. You still saying 100,000 on the rehab to hold it for rental?
I think so. I don't think you. Yeah, I think so.
And then you probably gonna rent each one of them units over there for 11, probably I think 1,100, 1,150.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then your property taxes on this one. Let me pull up the property taxes. So you saying you're gonna get $2,200 a month. You're gonna have 185 all in, just without even looking at any of the other numbers. I would take that 185 and buy maybe 2 or 3 properties with it. That's gonna cash flow more. I mean, the numbers may make sense. Right now, the taxes are cheap because they're capped and they were homesteaded. So they haven't, whoever owned this property has at least owned it since, oh no, actually this property just, I want to show y'all this. So whoever owned it since 2001. So the taxes are extremely cheap, but you can expect those taxes to increase. But just let me show the audience this. So if you are a realtor / investor, if you don't know, now you know. And if you are a wholesaler or just investor period, and you got access to data, you can find this information. But of course, or just ask your realtor, say, hey, what's going on with the property? So the sheriff's looked like there was a sheriff's deed on it back in May, but it was recorded in June. So this gives us a little bit more insight on this property at 65. And what were they asking for this one again, Janita? 84. So we know at this point, and this is public record, so it's not like we disclosing anything, but 65, there's probably some additional attorney fees or whatever involved in there, but we know a kind of a basis on what the bottom line is, what the break-even mark is. So knowing this information, Janita, how does this help you?
It's a distress sale. They want to get rid of this.
Right.
They might, if it doesn't move super quick, they may take a little less for it.
Yeah, not only do they want to get rid of it, they pretty much have to either pay it off and redeem it or sell it, right? So this helps you in your negotiation, right?
Reggie, you're saying this one was sold at a sheriff's sale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody go get it.
So the owner has they're in their 6-month redemption right now, which would be up in December 15th.
How much did it sell for?
I'm gonna go check it on December 1st and see if it's still there.
Yeah. But what did it sell?
It sold for $65,000.
So they can't go below 70, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got to cover all the closing costs and things of that nature.
So they're
interest too.
So there's not much. They're not going to be making that much off of it, because after the sheriff's sale, you got to pay that off, and then you got to pay your broker, you got to pay your closing costs. So they're not. Their probably break even point is 70, right, Reggie? Would you say?
Yeah, their break even is going to be somewhere about 72, 73 or something like that.
Okay.
So that's all you got to play with in that deal.
Yeah.
That should be your offer, Johnny. If they take it at 70, then cool. But Realtor BB was saying that property meets the 1% rule. But you remember in Detroit, it's a 2% rule. It's 1% in the suburbs.
Yeah. So and then it depends. Like again, these are our opinions on if it's a good deal or not.
Mhm.
This is a wonderful deal for somebody. It's just not, at least not for me. And Shaka said it. Kel said it's a good deal. He would definitely lend on it, but probably not to a newbie investor. And Janita's ready to make her offer on it.
Look, I got one more thing that scares me about it. So we talking about this is a heavy flip. I don't care, even if the people go in there and they made this their primary focus, it's still gonna take about 3 or 4 months on the rehab, I think. And we don't know where you're gonna be in the market in 3 or 4 months. And we have no recent. What was the most recent comp that we had?
I think it was like September. Yeah,
So,
it was September.
So
Yep, the 288.
I thought that was like May or June.
No, I can go back and pull it while you're talking. But go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Go ahead, Johnny.
no, I mean, a lot of these, when we're doing them, I don't want to be like that. It's too big for me right now, too. You know, I pull them up because they're fun to look at, but we still haven't bought anything down here. You know what I mean? There's a reason for it. They just big and time consuming. But they are, like Reggie said, they're good deals for people. So I show them to people all the time because they are. It just depends on who you are as an investor. And we do a lot of flips. So I think we need stuff that's less labor heavy, labor intensive.
Actually, that last property sold in June 15th, and the last comp did.
So we're talking about 4 months. So that even if you bought it right now, it still got to go. So we talking about you being enclosed by November. Even if you started work on November 1st, December, January, February, March, you're talking about March being done, and then you got to put it on the market. You don't know where the market is going to be in April or May of next year.
Then here's some other things you got to look at too. 81 days on the market, right? Mm-hmm. So you're taking 2, maybe 3 months for rehab, right? You only got a 6-month loan or maybe a 12-month loan. So you're talking 2 to 3 months rehab. You're talking maybe 3 months on the market, another 30 days to close. And this property originally started at $319. Then they dropped it to $299, and then it sold for $288. So maybe they really probably should have priced this property about $280, $285.
I would have got more.
The market bid it up, right? So, you probably got 6 months of rehab and market time alone. So you got to be real careful with some of these deals, especially if you're doing private or hard money lending that only give you 6 or 12 months.
Go down. Do they have any concessions? Oh no, it's conventional. Okay.
No, I was straight conventional. Yep.
Do the Boston one. Wait,
so yeah, I'm gonna do that one too. So with this deal, if I was to do this deal, I hate to leave money on the table, but a profit is profit, and it still meets my minimum requirement. I honestly, if I was to do this flip, I would come back to the market maybe about 270, 272.
So let's see, 270. So that means you got to be 175 all in. So then you would have to get it at literally. I mean, and you it's not going to be a good deal for you though, because it ain't going to meet your requirements at that number. Yeah,
and that's why I passed on it, because I would want to market it aggressively and get it on the market and get it. I want it sold, and I don't want to wait 81 days. I want it to sell in 30 days. I want the buyer that's going to jump on it right away. So, it's a good deal for somebody, but just not for me and Shaka.
That's them really good rehabs. Like them rehabs that they did some real nice rehabs, and that mug still sat for 81 days.
Yeah.
in the summertime. That was when the market was still kind of that. So that was sitting on there. If that's sat for 81 days, that's 2.5 months.
Yeah, that mean it came on this one came on the market back in April.
Yeah. So that means that's when the market was still hot.
Yeah, you had different interest rates too.
Yeah. So no, there's no way. I would pass on it.
All right. Emmett Foster said spring. I think he was
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we was referring to. Probably coming on the market. He mentioned something earlier about. Oh, he said he's not going on in the market, not going on the market till spring.
He's saying that house. He's saying if you buy that with the amount of rehab that it need, you're not gonna be back on the market until the springtime.
Right.
I
All
agree.
right. So which one we got next, Janita? What's the address?
Do you see them in the private chat? Both of those. So you see Calvert and Boston.
Yep. Calvert.
I think those are in the same. I think they're right there together in the same quarter of a mile, but
Pick one. You can't do both.
No.
Pick one right quick.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't think. Let's see what this Calvert is. So Calvert is this another multifamily conversion?
I believe that one came up 2490 Calvert. I think that came up on the residential, but it might be multifamily.
No, it came up as multifamily. Let me share it with the audience here. So this one was originally 95,000. It's now 79,000. I've seen this house before. Some of these aerial views are unnecessary. I'm not knocking nobody, but some of them are unnecessary.
What was that back there that they was trying to show? What's behind it?
Where right here on the side?
No, on an aerial view, they was trying to show something that it was near.
They was trying to show the school in the football field.
If you put this in and do a quarter of a mile, that Boston address comes up. That's how I found the Boston one. Which is what makes this good.
Yeah, they were just showing the school right there. This off of Linwood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's by Durfee, or
yes. Or Central.
Yeah, Durfee or Central over there. Yeah.
Those are good schools?
No, I mean not necessarily. I mean we can't say that.
I mean, when we look up the school report, would it be in the red, the yellow, or the green?
It's a Detroit hood school.
It'd be a red.
All right, so this is definitely gonna be a complete gut remodel. Looks like. Shaka, is your calculator? You got your because I know the numbers adding up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, once we see what the ARV is, which let's Janita, without looking at the ARV, what you think is going to be off the top? 300 or less?
Were you thinking of doing this as a conversion?
What you saying?
Were you thinking of doing this as a conversion?
No, I don't know. So because I don't know that they've started doing conversions down here yet. So I don't like to be that much ahead of the curve on things.
Hey, Sneaker Man said Linwood red flag for me, and then Emmett said 250 ARV.
Yeah,
and it's a no deal if that's the case.
Brittany said the living room ain't got no roof. Missing the whole ceiling. Yeah,
so I think for this one, like it's close enough. Calvert might have too many two-family flats on the block to do a conversion for me personally, so I wouldn't do that as a conversion. But let's not evaluate that one necessarily or pull it up because you need to be able to see it for Boston. They're going to be the same comps, basically. But we're not going to evaluate those two properties the same.
Yeah, Boston, was it a single family?
Yeah, Boston is a single family.
Okay.
How many square foot is this one? How many square foot is Calvert?
Calvert is what the heck is that?
This one actually probably would make more sense being a conversion, but I just know Calvert and Boston two different it's
Right.
it's
4,000.
neighborhoods for me. So I probably would pass on this property right now. You said it was 79,000, and Shaka says it's gonna be like 150 for rehab.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He ain't say it, but I know what he thinking.
Yeah, yep. That's where I was at.
Yeah.
You how much for rehab?
150, going high as hell. That's high as hell. I don't really think it's gonna be 150, but like, you know, somewhere within that range, it's gonna be a lot. Because the reason why is, I bet you, let's go back to those pictures for that one when we get a chance.
All right. I just want to see
But you
what
still
we
have
get.
to look at it real quick because, like, on that block right now, they haven't done. It's like, what are they selling for? You're not doing like the same kind of rehab like what we just looked at for Prairie.
Yeah, the multifamily comps for a quarter of a mile suck. Like everything is just. I mean, it's only one that sold at 44.9, and then it's Calvert is 79.
We
And
can buy the $15,000 ones and put the same amount of work, same amount in.
my man.
like,
I don't know. No, that's a large multifamily. Let's see what we got.
yeah, we gonna be 150 in there.
I don't know, Shaka.
Let's see. Go back. Let's see.
15,000. It's different.
Huh?
That's gonna be more than 150. That was huge.
Go back to it.
So that's in 79 for Calvert.
I'm gonna see Calvert's pictures because I want to see. I'm already sure that the electric is huge.
That's the other thing. You still got a lot of distress.
Oh, that one could be. Yes, too many two families though. Like Calvert is all, that whole block is all two families. So even though like it has enough curb appeal to be converted,
it's a lot of it's a lot of distress sales still over there too. I mean, you can't be scared. If it was a buy and hold, probably. But I'm passing on this one without.
Where did we come up with the ARV? What are we seeing as the ARV? That we
190.
Damn. Oh yeah, this is a no-go. 190 rehab?
I don't even see 190.
Nah, because you're not going. This will be like a what we call that? The Mansfield special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here you go, Shaka. You want 125.
That's nothing. That's actually good that they're selling like that.
Yeah, sure. That just save you some money from having to do the damn demo. But I mean, that's yeah.
Ask Kels what he thinks, because I don't see it.
Yeah, if the ARV is 190, even 200, nah, no good.
Yeah. And that's coming from the man with the money. So
I'm not. He not living on that one.
No, I think they have to give it away for free to.
Yeah. With some tax abatement.
Hey, look, Linwood got Sneaker Man shook. He like, all I can think about is NFL riding around back in the day. Hopping out the minivans.
We are not talking about 1989. Look,
they must have checked
right
in.
There.
They checked in his tens back in the day.
Emmett, they not paying attention. This is what I'm trying to explain. Like the same comps go to Boston, it's the same. Or if you keep Calvert in there.
Yep.
And you look at the
single family or multifamily?
For single family.
All right. What's the let me pull up Boston address real quick.
You could have just left. It didn't matter.
Is Boston listed, right?
Yeah. All these are MLS deals. Anybody can go buy them.
All right. Wait, I put something wrong in. Said 2325.
So, Janita, are you trying to say that the ARV is higher?
I'm just trying to show people what's going on in the area. So, no, Calvert right now, for people who got money who's buying and holding, that's gonna be a good deal because of where it sits at. ultimately, yeah, it will be higher, but it's a two family flat, so it's just what it is right now. But you have within 3 blocks, $300,000 and $400,000 houses, $500,000 houses.
Yeah, but it's not on Boston or Longfellow or
Right.
Edison.
Atkinson.
Yeah, those streets say something different than Calvert.
But it's coming.
I'm not investing in what's coming. I'm investing in what's now because I only got 6 months to have Kel's money back.
Yeah, that's if you're using other people's money, but people like Kel's that where they're the developers versus the lenders. These are the people. So like if you go over there and you look at pendings, it's gonna be a bunch of pendings. People are still buying these properties, developers are still buying the properties, and they're holding them and they're putting the money in. Y'all gonna ride through there in the summer. It's gonna be new windows and doors.
I mean, I'm with you. It just on Calvert, I see that more of a long-term play versus right now if I'm using short-term funds. If I'm buying a whole, or maybe if I was buying that to live in it, that's a whole different strategy. Probably do it all day.
Yeah, so here's the issue. To say that it's coming is like I don't know anymore. You know what I'm saying? Coming when? Like, is it going to come within the next year, the next 2 years, the next 5 years, the next 7 years? So it's not enough. I don't see enough to where I would invest my money in it at all. In no play. It's too much unknown for me.
Yeah, so I think I just don't think this particular property is a good flip. But I see what Janita is saying because a lot of this, these values will spill over to Calvert because it's in the same areas within a couple blocks. I just don't see it right now as a short-term flip when I got money on it. Like Emmett said, buy it, get it fixed up, then refinance out of it, right? That's an option too. I just think I can find a better deal in that area that don't need $120,000, $130,000 of work.
Emmett,
Boston.
I want to ask. Emmett said something. So Emmett said it's not unknown for folks that know. So what do you know? Like, so Emmett, tell me, in how much time is the value going to spill over there? How long is it going to take for the value to spill over there?
So we're going to have Emmett on the show one day too. So let's do, I want to do some soul. You wanted to see the souls, right?
Yeah.
Janita, I'm going to go back
down to 120.
120?
What's that address on Calvert for Emmett?
It's private chat. Okay.
I'll pull it back up in a minute.
It's 2490 Calvert. 2490.
The whole point is, Emmett, you not gonna know. That's all I'm saying. You can, having a stronger opinion because you feel like you know the area, but as far as what's getting ready to happen, you don't know.
Yeah, this was the Taylor property we pulled up before when we was doing comps on one of Emmett's properties.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
I think this is the one Emmett sold to the people, or he sold 2 next door or something. But this one sold for $350. This was like a 2-family. I think this was one of the conversions.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, Calvert would still be risky, but when I'm looking, like, this is an easy walk over.
So nobody's still answering my question. So y'all know the area. I want to know, how long do y'all think this spillover is going to take to happen? Like, approximately. I'm not holding y'all to it, but if y'all, y'all talking, like, is this getting ready to happen within the next 1 to 3 years, 5 to 7 years?
We're talking like it's happening. So all I'm saying is, if you look at the data, you just see more people buying the distressed properties over here. You're seeing more turnover. So like this one on Taylor, that they were successful at rehabbing and, selling. It's in the midst of happening.
So Emmett said in this summer, there's no way in hell is that number going to be there this summer.
So here's my thing. I'm gonna give you my opinion on deal or no deal. I agree with the area. I agree with Calvert. I agree with the spillover and the comp support it. I just don't like the house at that price and the risk involved. So when I'm investing, I'm always looking at what's the cost of the opportunity versus where I can put that same investment somewhere else and either get a better return or lower my risk. So I'm not putting what we say 185 or whatever over here on this property, not right now at this time, because there's other deals out there I can put that money into and probably get a better return or have a lower risk.
Yeah, Emmett, it's called investing. Yeah, you don't invest you invest to win. So I'm gonna invest when I know I'm gonna win. I'm not trying to crystal ball the market. You know what I'm saying? I'm going off the actual numbers, not projections. This
If
ain't
I was
stock market.
if I was gonna spend that type of money on a 2-family conversion, I would go back to the Perry property, or whatever you said, over there on
There's
that
more of
one,
them.
because that one seemed a little bit more consistent. But I do like this Calvert area right outside of Boston Edison because that area is hot. I just don't like that property at this moment for those prices.
I got more. So okay, when it spill over, what's the number gonna be?
I
next
mean,
summer, next summer, Emmett, what you think the number gonna be? What about you, Johnny?
We're gonna have to have you and Emmett on the show together and let y'all debate it out.
Yeah, you know, I be careful with that. I'm not a psychic. So what I do is exactly what you see me doing. I just show people, you come up with your own information. So I'm showing right now to the world what I look at when I get excited about something. And just because I'm excited doesn't mean I'm about to go and buy it. Because
I didn't say you were. I just was asking your
I
opinion
didn't say you said that I was talking.
Emmett is at 250, so
I'm
we need
just
to be at
saying
160.
that I'm just showing people the values of sold properties very close by.
Yeah. So Emmett said 250. So at the 250, using the 65%, you need to be 162.5 in there. How much? So Emmett, what you think the rehab gonna be in that?
I thought we said it was gonna be over 100. So we said what 79 for the property, 100,000 or more on the rehab. And you said you had to be how much into it?
So 162.5 at the 250.
Yeah. I just don't like that deal. I don't like the house. The area I'm fine with. I just don't like that deal altogether.
The numbers just don't make sense.
The audience may see different. We can ask Kels what he thinks about it.
Yeah, let me hear what he says.
You know, this one would be, if you can buy it for 60, I would buy it and just leave it there and let it sit. If you want to park your money and just let it stay there, but then you have what's called opportunity loss, or opportunity cost, where you could have done something better with that money. So remember that house we did in Boston, Edison? You remember the street behind? I forgot what it was called. Glen. Yeah, that was an up and coming street, but you drive through it, it looks like a war zone. But here we are at the $350,000-$400,000, just one block behind it. And so I think what Janita's trying to say is that's kind of similar to Glen a little bit, but only if you have some money and you're not using it and you want to park it somewhere. It might be a good gamble, but it's not a gamble. It is going to be up and coming, but it's not a good investment for a flip. And I think we're into, taking our money and using it and flipping it and keep building it versus holding on and don't know what the heck is going to happen. But, I see what's his name's point of view, and I see Janita's too. But I would go with Chuck on this one. No deal. Keep it moving. Let's flip.
All right. So, and when we talk about that the opportunity loss, it's like, where else could you put your money at? And buying and holding this one might make better sense than trying to buy it and flip it right at this time. And it might make a good rental too.
And the reason why, y'all, he's saying that is because you put the 60 in there. If if you bought it for 60 and then you did the rehab, you might be SOL, right? You might be out of a couple $100,000. Whereas if you put the 60 in and then just hold it until the values, until you see if the values do actually spill over there, then you bought it potentially at a good deal. But not at 250. Still at 250, the number is too high.
Yeah, so Emmett said he would have to be all in at 150, maybe like 50 for purchase, 85 to 100 rehab, exit at 225, 250. That makes sense, right? And that's doable. I just feel like if I'm gonna be 150 all in, there's other deals where I would rather put my money at.
Yeah, that rehab on that is that's that big ass. That's the 2,600 square foot house, the 2-family.
Yeah, I believe so.
That needed to be fully rehabbed.
Yep.
No, you're not getting in there for no $85,000. Not even 100. You're not getting in there for 100,000.
So BB asked the question. Yeah, I think so. I know a couple investors who buy in that area. It's like that North End, Russell Woods. What's that sub? But
yes.
They buy a lot of those properties and they keep them. They rent them out. They're not really looking to flip. And they also do short-term rentals for them as well. So.
And they need to take a loss tax-wise. So somebody that needs to take an L right now and defer their money, you can go ahead and pay the $60,000 or whatever the number y'all gonna pay for it. Take that loss on your taxes this year, and then defer the gain until whenever that value gets over there.
All right. So
Boston.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm all done out for this.
So we got other properties we're going to be evaluating next week. But if any of our listeners, subscribers, if you have properties you want us to evaluate, Emmett submitted one or two before, so we will evaluate your deals, maybe something that you're going under contract with, something you're pending on, and give you our opinion. Again, it is our opinion. As you can see, we all have different investment strategies. We brought Kels on because he actually loans the money. So he's putting up money on these deals, and you heard his opinion on what he would invest in and what he probably wouldn't invest in. And the good thing about having a local private money lender is sometimes they can educate you during the process and help you avoid some of the pitfalls with buying and flipping as well. So that's a wrap. We hope y'all share this information, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.
For sure. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right.